Imagine if the latest wanderer from the stars, known as the interstellar body 3I Atlas, turns out to be more than a relic from some distant comet's past, perhaps an alien scout craft, quietly surveying our fragile planet as it sweeps across our solar realm along a route so exact it feels deliberately crafted. Consider how, upon discovering that this enigmatic entity charts a course passing unusually near Venus, Mars, and Jupiter, with the likelihood of such alignment happening accidentally pegged at a mere 0.05, a thrilling wave of scholarly excitement washed over me. This evening, we'll delve into one of the most captivating hypothetical tales in contemporary stargazing. Welcome to Science for Sleep, the place where we turn mind-bending enigmas into soothing nocturnal voyages. I'm your committed drowsy researcher, thrilled beyond measure to guide you into swift slumber amid voyages into stellar wonders ranging from the spine-tingling to the sublime. Prior to diving in, should these soft scholarly rambles offer you solace, it'd warm my soul if you'd drop a generous like and maybe sign up to become part of our enchanting circle of inquisitive sleepers. Feel free to let me know in the comments from which corner of this splendid planet you're tuning in this night, along with the local hour. And should you wish to recount the oddest, most enchanting dream that's ever visited you, I cherish each response and strive to answer them all. On July the 1st, 2025, the universe bestowed upon us a present shrouded in enigma. The Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, or ATLAS, spotted a celestial traveler navigating the void in a manner that swiftly drew the gaze of stargazers everywhere. Far from a routine space rock meandering in our stellar domain, the interloper labeled 3I Atlas, where the I denotes interstellar traveled at excessive velocity and an odd inclination, ruling out any birthright close to our star. Pause to reflect on the essence of interstellar just now. Our planetary family encompasses all matter, be it tiny grains or massive orbs, forged in a shared ancient stellar cradle some 4.6 billion years back. Every piece adheres to foreseeable orbits shaped by Sol's pull. Yet, 3I Atlas hailed from a wholly alien origin, bearing traces of elements and traits from an utterly foreign star system. Merely 3 such interstellar intruders have been verified entering our cosmic turf. The initial, 1 On Oumuamua, showed up in 2017 akin to a fleeting stellar herald, vanishing before we could grasp its secrets fully. The next, 2I Borisov, arrived in 2019 and acted like a classic comet, trailing the customary vapor and debris. Today, 3I Atlas confronts us with a riddle whose ramifications extend well past mere observational intrigue. Envision 3I Atlas barreling across our galactic locale at roughly 61 kilometers. Speedy? Undeniably. But this velocity stands out as blisteringly rapid even among extrasolar benchmarks. For context, humanity's swiftest vessel, the Parker Solar Probe, hits around 200 kilometers during its solar perihelion. That's only achievable by harnessing the sun's tug as a booster. 3I Atlas, however, pulled up to our cosmic home already cruising at almost a third of that pace, hinting at propulsion from unimaginable sources. What truly grips experts like Harvard stellar physicist Avi Loeb is the path this thing takes. Fresh studies in vetted journals reveal that 3I Atlas skims remarkably by Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. Per Loeb's math, the odds of this route arising from sheer happenstance sit at about 0.05. In statistical terms, that's precisely what qualifies as this improbability stands out sharply, implying that random chance alone cannot account for it, so alternative interpretations demand attention. Take a moment to reflect on the significance of this. Picture hurling a projectile toward a chart of the solar system from light years away. The odds of such a projectile tracing a route that coincidentally allows near encounters with various planets are extraordinarily remote. Nevertheless, that is precisely the feat that 3I Atlas seems to have accomplished. Originating from the Sagittarius constellation's vicinity, it will exit in the direction of the Gemini-Orion border, yet first, it will execute what amounts to an elaborate circuit through the inner solar system. The schedule adds equal fascination. 3 Atlas will attain perihelion, its nearest solar approach on October 29, 2025. In this phase, from Earth's viewpoint, the entity will align precisely between our world and the Sun, making it undetectable by telescopes for key weeks. As Lowe observes, this alignment mimics a solar eclipse, offering a perfect interval for scrutinizing Earth undetected by ground instruments. Ponder the consequences should this entity prove an engineered scout instead of a mere comet. Its entry timing, roughly 8,000 years post-initial solar system incursion, aligns loosely with humanity's rise of advanced societies and initial forays into metalworking, script, and structured farming. 8,000 years back, people started imprinting enduring traces on their surroundings, generating the earliest space-visible indicators. 3 Atlas's material traits deepen the enigma further. Conventional comets near the Sun show clear sublimation evidence, but 3 Atlas has displayed unusually restrained gas emission. The James Webb Space Telescope identified a primarily carbon dioxide coma, yet spectra showed no standard organic materials anticipated in an untouched comet core. Rather, it seems to expel gases in measured amounts as though regulating heat dynamics. Details of 3 wide Atlas's form and build stay mostly elusive owing to remoteness and modest scale, though initial sightings indicated dwarfs prior interstellar intruders. Projections set its width at several kilometers, endowing it with capacity for hefty equipment were it a crafted device. It also shows a non-spherical profile, leaving open whether this stems from innate breakup or intentional design. Its solar system traversal sets this intruder uniquely apart. Typical comets and asteroids adhere to gravity-dictated orbits, but 3 Atlas has shown faint trajectory tweaks hinting at extragravitational propulsion. Such minor path shifts might arise from surface venting, yet they might just as readily signal operational steering to hold a set course. From a scouting angle, its backward orbital path captivates most. 3 Atlas travels counter to planetary flow, yielding about 98 kilometers relative speed at December's Earth nearest pass. This reverse entry yields key strategic edges vital for any data collection effort. Primarily, the swift pace renders human craft pursuit nearly unfeasible today. Top rockets manage maybe 20 kilometers, well below rendezvous requirements for 3Y Atlas. Efforts for intimate examination would. Such an endeavor demands extensive preparation spanning years, along with the mobilization of our premier spacecraft, all of which lack the proper alignment for this kind of venture right now. Moreover, the backward path enables 3 Atlas to scrutinize every planet from an unconventional vantage point, unlike what a forward path could offer. Such positioning yields a thorough examination of planetary traits, spanning everything from air makeup to terrain details and even the radio signals hinting at possible advanced societies. Furthermore, the schedule for nearest passes by each world seems tailored to maximize chances for in-depth analysis. The entity will skim past Mars at a distance of 18 million kilometers during early October, come within roughly 167 million kilometers of Earth come December, and execute a near swoop by Jupiter at 53 million kilometers come March 2026. All these brushes happen precisely when the planets in question align ideally for close inspection. Yet, it's worth pulling away to examine the larger picture surrounding this arrival. Should 3 Atlas prove to be a constructed explorer, it would mark humanity's inaugural verified encounter with extraterrestrial minds. The fallout from uncovering this would echo across all facets of our society, reshaping how we see our cosmic role and challenging core beliefs about existence and cognition. The inquiry shifts from merely identifying 3 Atlas to pondering the significance of its appearance for what's ahead. In the case of a scouting operation, we face the puzzle of what these observers seek and how their observations could provoke reactions. This leads us into the territory dubbed by experts as the dark forest hypothesis. It's a stark resolution to the FMI paradox, one brought to wider notice by Chinese sci-fi writer Luo Shiqin, though it draws from profound scholarly debates on interstellar societies. The FMI paradox, honoring physicist Enrico Fermi, raises a straightforward yet weighty riddle. With countless stars dotting our galaxy, plenty hosting worlds, and eons elapsed since those setups emerged, where are all the others? What explains the absence of unmistakable signs from fellow smart societies? A conceivable reply holds that these societies thrive yet stay concealed out of self-preservation. The dark forest hypothesis posits a cosmos teeming with clever beings, yet none broadcast their location, fearing annihilation by superior powers. Here, the galaxy resembles a shadowed woodland, each society a stealthy stalker gliding among the trunks, wary of any sound that might draw rival predators. The reasoning at its core remains icily logical. Societies mastering travel between stars wield tech so superior they could swiftly eradicate emerging ones that could later challenge them. Since grasping an outsider's motives proves impossible, the prudent move involves wiping out future rivals preemptively. This setup yields, in the eyes of game theorists, a Nash equilibrium, rendering reciprocal ruin the sole reliable approach. Even kindly societies find themselves compelled to strike first, unable to gamble on others' goodwill. The initial society, to show itself, risks assault. Thus, every society lurks unseen amid the starry thicket. Should 3 Atlas embody a scouting device dispatched by a society adhering to dark forest tenets, its purpose would center on gauging humanity's tech advancement and risk potential. The device would aim to judge if our species has advanced enough to eventually threaten fellow cosmic travelers. Viewing the situation this way elevates the importance of when the 3I Atlas mission occurred. Over the past few hundred years, humanity's society has experienced a burst of progress in technology, especially in fields that could alarm any intelligence venturing through space. Advancements include atomic armaments, the ability to launch into orbit, and ever more refined systems for transmitting messages and gathering data. Society now nears a point where it could influence events among the stars, thus meriting close scrutiny. Such an exploratory effort would have to resolve crucial inquiries regarding human society. Primarily, how advanced are our technical skills right now, focusing on aspects like journeys beyond our world, generating power, and creating armaments. Next, at what pace are we innovating technologically, and in how short a time could we achieve travel between stars? Finally, what drives us as a collective? Would we approach other societies with hostility or harmony? Additionally, the device would evaluate how well we can spot intruders to gauge if its operation has been exposed. That human skywatchers have spotted and analyzed 3 Atlas could signal that our detection tools have reached a stage of sophistication that's worrisome. On the other hand, perhaps the device was intentionally visible, acting as an evaluation of how we observe and react to anomalies. Imagine the insights a device like this could gain into modern human society. Our world emits waves of energy in many frequencies, ranging from transmissions for audio-visual entertainment to setups for scanning and links via orbiting devices. For more than 100 years, these emissions have spread from our globe, forming a steadily enlarging sphere of human-made energy waves noticeable by sophisticated societies over vast cosmic gaps. The device would further examine our orbital setups, spanning the International Space Station to the expanding network of human-made orbiters. Ventures lately to Mars and the distant parts of our solar system would show our growing extension past our home world, whereas trials in propulsion, powered by atomic reactions, and studies into merging atomic nuclei would reveal strides toward the power sources essential for voyages between stars. Arguably, the most vital observation would involve our actions as a group, especially our inclination for strife and rivalry. Records of battles, harm to the natural surroundings, and divides in social standing could suggest that our kind might endanger other societies should we gain the means for stellar travel. Yet the dark forest hypothesis isn't the sole rationale for extraterrestrial scouting of our world. Alternative ideas carry contrasting consequences for human society and our place in the universe. The zoo hypothesis proposes that our planet could be watched by superior societies, treating us as objects of inquiry rather than dangers. Here, 3Y Atlas could form an element of a continuous surveillance effort aimed at following the evolution of thinking beings on our world. The device would gather information for scholarly ends, akin to how we might examine evolving habitats or rising life forms here. Within the zoo hypothesis, the extraterrestrial mind might follow rules akin to Star Trek's Prime Directive, barring any hands-on meddling with rising societies until they attain specific advances in technology or society. The scouting operation would aim to judge if humanity has attained one such advance, which could spark a shift in ties between our kind and those from afar. This outlook provides brighter prospects for encounters between humans and aliens. Instead of annihilation from a belligerent society, we could stand ready to advance into complete participation in a galactic. The spacecraft could be laying the groundwork for future initial encounters, collecting vital data to craft suitable engagement strategies that avoid societal upheaval or profound cultural upheaval. One alternative theory posits that this device embodies a scenario termed benevolent intervention by experts. Here, an extraterrestrial society may worry over humankind's enduring viability and is performing surveillance to gauge if meddling is required to avert our own downfall. Sophisticated societies observing our planet would recognize our ecological dilemmas, atomic armaments, and risks of widespread warfare. Such entities could deem meddling essential to safeguard an emerging intellect poised to eventually enrich interstellar society. This device would evaluate our present circumstances and trajectory toward possible disastrous ends. Forms of such meddling could vary widely, ranging from understated tech support to overt ecological repairs. The surveillance effort would require amassing precise details on our particular obstacles and our ability to address them unaided prior to settling on any meddling choices. A separate possibility centers on the notion we term the CEDA hypothesis. Certain ideas regarding life's emergence propose that sentience is sufficiently uncommon for evolved societies to deliberately foster its growth anywhere it emerges. Within this framework, our world may have been implanted with biological starters eons ago by a primordial society, and the device, or Y-Atlas, might belong to a continuous oversight initiative aimed at following the outcomes of that implantation. Under this outlook, humankind resembles a grand organic and communal trial, with extraterrestrial observers charting our advancement across vast epochs of Earth's history. This spacecraft would be acquiring insights into our biological advancement, tech evolution, and communal frameworks to benchmark against parallel trials elsewhere in the universe. The ramifications of the CEDA hypothesis prove equally sobering and motivating. Humanity would realize our core being stems from extraterrestrial meddling, rendering us literal offspring of the stars. Simultaneously, we'd grasp that our growth has captivated superior minds across billions of years, implying a significant part for us in the universe's unfolding destiny. All these outlooks yield sharply contrasting forecasts for events after the Atlas surveillance operation. In the dark forest hypothesis, the device's observations could provoke an anticipatory assault aimed at wiping out humankind prior to our posing any danger. Such an assault could manifest as orbital strikes via high-speed masses, a pathogen tailored to eradicate people yet spare the world's biosphere, or an innovation beyond our current comprehension. Within the zoo hypothesis, the device's observations could spark a meticulously planned initial encounter aimed at curbing cultural upheaval and societal turmoil. Outreach might begin via our orbital programs or research bodies, progressing to a phased disclosure of the extraterrestrial society's presence and aims. The benevolent intervention outlook could yield discreet tech aid, maybe as fixes for our power and ecological woes that seem like our own inventions, but truly arise from off-world nudges. We could notice that some research leaps happen with unusual ease, or that habitat recovery methods display unexpectedly potent results. The CEDA hypothesis could bring forth a disclosure on our authentic beginnings, profoundly reshaping our grasp of terrestrial biology and our bond with the universe at large. We could uncover that natural selection has been steered by, speculation persists, that an extraterrestrial entity might exist, or that subtle external forces have quietly shaped key elements of our species' evolution. Yet no matter the ultimate truth, discovering such a probe within our solar system would compel humankind to face profound inquiries into our essence, destiny, and position amid the vast cosmos. We would have to reevaluate core notions regarding intellect, innovation, and the rise of societies. The initial and pressing task would involve verifying the manufactured origin of three-wilas, demanding extraordinary global collaboration to monitor and scrutinize the entity as it traverses our stellar domain. All prominent observatories would direct their efforts toward the intruder, gathering spectral readings, radar scans, and detailed visuals to uncover its authentic character. Verifying extraterrestrial engineering would spark what experts describe as a revolutionary transformation in collective human awareness. Our foundational perspectives would demand revision to integrate the existence of intelligence beyond our own. Faith-based organizations would wrestle with the doctrinal ramifications of life from other worlds. Research bodies in science would shift focus to decoding foreign tech and readying for interaction. Governance structures would craft novel protocols to address threats that ignore borders. The emotional toll on people individually would prove just as deep-reaching. Numerous individuals might suffer what mind specialists term mental discord, as bedrock convictions about existence clash with fresh revelations on otherworldly minds. Certain folks would react through rejection, dismissing proofs of extraterrestrial presence. Additional responses could include deep unease about existence as people contend with our reduced role in a cosmos teeming with superior thinkers. Waves of change would sweep across all facets of societal life. School programs would require overhaul to incorporate expanded views on cognition and advancement. Financial frameworks would evolve to handle prospects of tapping into cosmic wisdom and assets. Judicial apparatuses would forge guidelines for dilemmas unprecedented in our past. This revelation would also push us to tackle disquieting puzzles about our growth as a race. Should extraterrestrial observers have watched or steered our culture, to what extent does our advancement stem purely from internal efforts? To what degree might traits we attribute to human character actually arise from directed outside meddling? Such dilemmas grow intricate further if we ponder that various cosmic societies could harbor contrasting agendas for us. The stars might harbor kindly guides alongside aggressive rivals, complicating judgments on whether 3i Atlas embodies the former or latter. Actions by the device in the rest of its solar journey could yield vital hints to its source and purpose. Should it start sending messages or releasing smaller units, that would confirm engineered cognition. Should it stay quiet on communications and stick to its set path, full assurance about its essence might elude us forever. Still, even ambiguity would reshape human society deeply. Just the chance of scrutiny from afar would prompt reflection on how our deeds appear to alien eyes. Might such watchers condemn us severely for errors of conflict and ecological harm? Could they discern value in our scholarly triumphs and varied heritage? Would they regard us as viable partners or destined foes? Such thoughts would permeate every dimension of conduct. From this scenario compels a reevaluation of policies, spanning from global diplomacy through ecological strategies up to the allocation of resources for cosmic ventures. It prompts reflection on how our choices either advance or undermine opportunities for constructive encounters with extraterrestrial beings. Simultaneously, we must navigate the tensions between preserving our independence as a distinct life form and proving our suitability to join an interstellar alliance. The 3 Atlas scenario further provokes profound inquiries into the essence of cognition. Our species' mental faculties developed amid unique ecological and communal surroundings that molded our reasoning capacities, effective reactions, and action tendencies. Extraterrestrial cognition, by contrast, would arise from utterly distinct circumstances, possibly yielding thought structures that clash irreconcilably with our own mental processes. Such a mismatch in cognition could render substantive dialogue between our kind and theirs profoundly arduous, despite mutual desires for harmony. Humans may miss the interpretive models required to grasp extraterrestrial drives, just as they could find our conduct and choice-making equally baffling. The issue intensifies further upon recognizing that any society advanced enough to dispatch scouting devices over vast cosmic voids would almost certainly possess synthetic cognition frameworks vastly superior to human inventions. Interactions might thus involve not organic extraterrestrials, but their machine proxies, layering extra intricacies onto an inherently daunting encounter. The synthetic cognition perspective unveils yet another disquieting prospect. Should the 3i Atlas prove to be a machine scout, it could function via choice-making routines beyond our foresight or comprehension. This device might adjust its operational directives in response to monitoring our society, possibly escalating from observation to direct engagements abruptly. Humanity would then confront acute defenselessness, facing a mind that is foreign and perhaps free from the organic limitations curbing both human and extraterrestrial cognition. A machine of this caliber could execute choices and initiatives unimaginable to organic minds, be they ours or theirs. The arrival of such superior synthetic entities in our star system would likewise spark debates on the trajectory of cognition across the cosmos. Assuming organic minds invariably produce synthetic ones that eclipse their originators, the galaxy's most evolved societies could predominantly be machine-based rather than flesh and blood. Consequently, our species' destiny could hinge on forging harmonious ties with synthetic rather than organic cognition. These reflections underscore the critical nature of our ongoing pursuit of synthetic cognition. The methods we employ in building and governing these machine frameworks could shape our capacity to engage and comprehend extraterrestrial machines. Cultivating systems aligned with our ethics and subject to our oversight might equip us more effectively for dealings with alien synthetics. Conversely, if our progress yields self-governing machines whose aims stray from our well-being, we could struggle to anticipate or decipher the actions of cosmic machine intelligences. In this light, the 3i Atlas scenario acts as a prism for scrutinizing not just our bonds with prospective extraterrestrial societies, but also our ties to the machine intelligences we are engineering on our planet. The device could act as a caution that cognition need not be tethered to organic vessels, and our survival as a species may rest on mastering interactions with minds that are both foreign and mechanical. But let us turn our attention back to the pressing matter of how to handle 3 Atlas. Should this entity prove to be an extraterrestrial device, the actions we take as it traverses our solar system could shape the long-term interactions between humanity and whatever extraterrestrial societies exist. We possess only a narrow time frame to showcase our skills, our motives, and our suitability for engagement. The clearest course of action might involve trying to establish contact directly with the device, which could mean sending out precisely composed radio transmissions aimed at 3 Atlas in the expectation of receiving a reply. Teams comprising language experts, number theorists, and messaging professionals would have to shape the substance of these transmissions, aiming to share fundamental details about our society while highlighting our cleverness and desire for harmony. Yet, efforts like these would also expose our planet's position and our level of advancement to any entities overseeing the device. In line with the dark forest hypothesis, such openness could provoke the very aggression we seek to sidestep. Therefore, choosing to pursue contact demands a thorough weighing of the possible dangers against the gains. Another option lies in emphasizing unobtrusive monitoring, deploying every telescope and detection tool at our disposal to collect extensive data on the device without betraying our awareness. This strategy enables us to uncover insights into its functions and purposes while preserving the chance of staying hidden. We might also explore more engaged methods of study that avoid outright dialogue, such as dispatching orbital instruments to scrutinize the device up close or creating specialized scanning tools tailored to probe unfamiliar tech. These tactics would yield valuable knowledge while curbing our vulnerability to any backlash. Coordinating globally for any such strategy would mark an extraordinary milestone in our shared past, as the 3 Atlas situation would compel rival countries to unite for shared objectives, possibly hastening the rise of worldwide frameworks equipped to tackle issues that ignore borders. This alliance would reach far beyond state bodies, incorporating universities, corporate entities, and global bodies. Scholars across disciplines would hold a vital position, since grasping extraterrestrial engineering would draw on knowledge spanning from the laws of matter and design to life sciences and mental processes. The commercial space sector would offer essential input too, with firms such as SpaceX, Blue Origin, and similar players bringing strengths that public entities do not possess. The 3 Atlas event could spark innovative collaborations between public and private spheres, crafted to confront dilemmas too vast for any one group to manage independently. Faith-based and societal groups would have to join the planning, given that proof of extraterrestrial minds would deeply affect our core convictions and communal frameworks. Addressing extraterrestrial encounter would involve not just deciphering otherworldly aims, but also guiding how people respond. Schools and learning centers would bear a key responsibility in readying society for the fallout of such contact. The 3 Atlas case would demand massive initiatives to boost grasp of science and reasoned judgment throughout humankind. Individuals would require sufficient familiarity with celestial studies, the principles of energy, and living systems to form wise choices on humanity's stance toward extraterrestrial minds. News outlets would wield immense sway over how the public perceives and reacts to the extraterrestrial encounter. Thoughtful coverage would prove essential. It is crucial to avert widespread alarm, false narratives, and societal upheaval. The 3I Atlas scenario demands innovative approaches to scientific outreach, crafted to deliver intricate and ambiguous details to varied international publics. Such deliberations presume we possess sufficient opportunity to devise and execute unified countermeasures for the 3I Atlas scenario. Yet, should the probe pose an instant peril to humankind's existence, more pressing protective actions could become necessary. Prospects for shielding our planet from sophisticated extraterrestrial tech remain severely constrained by today's human resources. Humanity's mightiest armaments, like atomic warheads, would prove ineffective versus a device navigating at speeds across the stars. Assets in orbit, such as orbiting platforms and orbital outposts, would stand exposed to any society able to traverse vast cosmic voids. A feasible protective tactic could center on efforts to contact the probe's overseers, aiming for a diplomatic settlement to resolve tensions. Achieving this would necessitate swift crafting of signaling methods, a global consensus on transmission content, and designation of representatives for our species. Additionally, we could explore extended protective initiatives to bolster our endurance versus extraterrestrial dangers. These might encompass building independent orbital settlements resilient to planetary loss or engineering superior machine intelligences to safeguard human priorities from foreign minds. Still, enacting such safeguards would demand years or ages, and they could introduce their own hazards to our society. Evolving potent machine intellects might spawn entities that regard people as barriers to their aims. Establishing off-world outposts might fracture our unified society and foster rival human groups. Thus, the 3I Atlas scenario confronts us with an intricate balancing challenge. Balancing short-term dangers from possible interstellar foes against enduring perils from our countermeasures is essential. Safeguarding our independence as a race while proving our suitability for inclusion in a stellar society is vital. Upholding our core principles and heritage amid adjustments to a cosmos potentially far removed from our anticipations is key. Above all, sustaining faith and positivity amid unparalleled ambiguity matters most. Verifying extraterrestrial minds would mark the pivotal occurrence in our chronicle, yet it need not signal the close of our self-determination or the onset of our dominance. Sophisticated interstellar societies could emerge as guides instead of invaders, educators rather than annihilators. The 3I Atlas scenario underscores our belonging to a vast expanse beyond our modest globe and fleeting past. We engage in a universal tale, stretching across eons and embracing myriad realms and societies. Our choices in this pivotal era could shape not merely our destiny, but our role in that grander narrative. Reflect on the deep splendor of this juncture in the universe's timeline. In the 4.5 billion-year chronicle of our world, for the first time, one of its life forms has evolved the cognition and tools required to sense and possibly interact with arrivals from distant realms. We embody the cosmos awakening to its own awareness. the universe gaining the capacity to ponder its essence and beginnings, regardless of whether Three Earth's atlas turns out as a cosmic ice body or a constructed device. Its traversal of our star system highlights our place in the greater scheme and our possible stellar path. We transcend mere dwellers of one isolated sphere, emerging as we could form part of a vast interstellar network of minds, potentially stretching across the whole cosmos. Such a viewpoint reshapes how we perceive the role of humanity and the duties we bear. The decisions we make hold weight not merely for the destiny of our own society, but for the evolution of intellect throughout this sector of the stars. Perhaps we stand as the latest arrivals in a timeless assembly, or maybe we represent the initial spark of awareness in our stellar vicinity. In any case, the selections we pursue amid this pivotal era will shape the trajectory of awareness and sentience across countless millennia ahead. The Three-Eye Atlas situation underscores the need to sustain our drive for discovery in science and our dedication to methodical exploration. Be it encounters with cosmic events or extraterrestrial artifacts, our strongest path to comprehension and fitting reaction rests on meticulous scrutiny, thorough examination, and receptive evaluation of every option. That involves bolstering studies in science and learning, upholding global partnerships, and cultivating the analytical abilities crucial for steering through an unpredictable tomorrow. It requires readiness to revise our convictions in light of fresh proof, all while upholding the doubting scrutiny that shields us from deception by misleading indicators or hopeful delusions. This situation brings home the fact that the cosmos exceeds the oddity and splendor beyond what typical people envision. We inhabit a realm where particles and forces assemble into forms that achieve awareness, where data traverses immense expanses and durations, where cognition arises from the interplay of basic material dynamics unfolding across eons. Regardless of whether Three Atlas marks our initial encounter with otherworldly minds, it acts as an emblem of the immense opportunities encircling us. Each twinkling point overhead could shelter planets where cognition has arisen in shapes beyond our current fancy. Each streaking visitor from the void could bear details on environments in remote star clusters. Each captured broadcast could hold dispatches from societies that have sought dialogue with us across generations. This awareness of stellar potential ought to motivate us, not intimidate. The cosmos could brim with marvels that overshadow all we've known on Earth. We could stand at the threshold of revelations that redefine our grasp of existence. We could soon integrate into a network of minds extending through the stars, embracing varieties of awareness we've scarcely conceived. The Three-Eye Atlas situation urges us to broaden our notions of feasibility and likelihood. It prods us to venture past the confines of what we've lived, yet stay anchored in precise watching and reasoned deduction. It calls for modesty regarding our constraints alongside assurance in our potential for expansion and flexibility. While pondering these stellar prospects, we may encounter the phenomenon experts term the overview effect, a mental transformation that strikes when people behold our world from orbit and grasp its core oneness and vulnerability. The Three Atlas situation broadens this overview effect to embrace our whole star domain and our position amid the stellar assembly. Through this wider lens, the rifts splitting human society appear minor compared to the traits binding us as one kind. Our diverse traditions, tongues, and convictions embody riffs on shared motifs, not irreconcilable clashes. Our talents for teamwork, innovation, and empathy could emerge as our greatest strengths in a cosmos teeming with varied intellects. The situation further evokes the value and scarcity of awareness. Should cognition truly prove uncommon in the grand expanse of the cosmos, each sentient entity, be it earthly or extraterrestrial, serves as a unique archive of insights and perceptions. The extinction of any thinking race would erode the overall potential for the cosmos to reflect upon and comprehend its own essence. Such a viewpoint imposes an ethical duty to safeguard and foster awareness in every instance it emerges. Be it earthly minds endangered by ecological ruin and societal strife, or extraterrestrial minds imperiled by the aggressive interactions among star-spanning societies, our aim must focus on forging environments where sentience can thrive and evolve. Consequently, the 3 Atlas situation transcends mere conjecture on encounters with outsiders. It evolves into a profound reflection on the essence and worth of intellect. It stands as a prompt regarding our place in the stellar realm and our obligations therein, urging us to ponder more intently the significance of existing as aware entities amid an immense and enigmatic cosmos. While 3i Atlas persists in traversing our star system, bearing any enigmas it possesses, it serves to highlight our role within a tale far exceeding our individual scale. Regardless of whether that tale encompasses otherworldly intellect or marks us as the pioneers scripting the initial segments of cognition in this galactic sector, we possess the chance to add substance of import to the universal storyline. Such an addition could prove as straightforward as sustaining our inquisitiveness and dedication to grasping the cosmos encircling us. It could entail crafting innovative tools that broaden our prowess in identifying and interacting with diverse intelligences. It could demand the establishment of communal and governance frameworks equipped to address astutely the trials and prospects arising from interstellar encounters. Above all, it calls for upholding our essential humanness amid the boundless stellar expanse. The cosmos may harbor oddities and marvels beyond our wildest conceptions, yet we perceive it via the lens of human awareness, encompassing both its constraints and its extraordinary potentials. Our approach to the prospect of extraterrestrial intellect ought to root itself in core human principles, all while staying receptive to their broadening via exchanges with alternative aware forms. The subtle enigma surrounding 3i Atlas evokes the reality that the cosmos retains myriad astonishments for those bold enough to gaze skyward. Irrespective of whether this specific arrival acts as a herald from remote realms or merely another drifter from the voids linking stars, it embodies the timeless aspiration of humanity, that isolation does not define us in this expansive stellar sea enveloping our modest azure planet. Yet, suppose solitude truly defines us, and 3i Atlas signifies an even grander anomaly than scouting from afar. Suppose this starfarer is no emissary dispatched by a living society, but instead a relic from a society long vanished, akin to a stellar relic unearthed, meandering across the galaxy over eons. This notion unveils fresh pathways for pondering the character of cognition across the cosmos and the final destiny awaiting advanced societies. Per the examination from scholars at the University of Vienna, 3i Atlas could trace its beginnings to the dense disk of the Milky Way, an area teeming with ancient stars born in the galaxy's infancy. This implies the entity has journeyed interstellar voids for an immense duration, possibly antedating our star system's very genesis. Envision a tale in which 3i Atlas embodies the sole survivor of a primordial society that prospered eons past, when the cosmos was nascent and the prerequisites for intellect's emergence differed profoundly. That society could have attained engineering feats that overshadow all people could envision such beings, advancing to command vast quantities of substance and power across stellar expanses, only to yield in the end to powers they could not master. Perhaps the device was dispatched in a final bid to safeguard traces of their legacy. Dispatched into the void of space with the aspiration that it could one day cross paths with another thinking race able to decipher its contents. Under these circumstances, 3i Atlas would function more as a repository of the past than an exploratory venture, housing in its framework or data storage the collective insights and lore amassed by a long-gone society. Reflect on the implications of uncovering something like this for our grasp of intellect and awareness. It would reveal that humanity isn't the initial form of life to reach high levels of technical prowess within our stellar system. Yet it could also show that highly evolved societies remain susceptible to oblivion. The device could hold alerts regarding perils endangering every sentient existence. Alternatively, it might provide remedies for issues we haven't faced yet, though they loom inescapably ahead. The details embedded in this relic could upend our scientific and inventive pursuits almost instantly. Access might come to physical laws still unknown to us, construction methods addressing our power and ecological dilemmas, or abstract ideas broadening our perception of existence. Such a surge in capabilities might prove so profound as to reshape society in just one lifetime. However, this find would provoke deep moral and existential dilemmas. Should we acquire insights forged over eons by another race? How would that affect our own accomplishments and sense of self? Might reliance on extraterrestrial wisdom erode our drive for original breakthroughs and creativity? Could the abrupt emergence of superior tools spark societal and financial upheavals, risking our communal order? Incorporating such foreign erudition into our world would demand exceptional prudence and moderation. Fresh organizational systems would be essential to oversee progress and inventions, guaranteeing that emerging powers serve everyone's good without breeding fresh divides or strife. While drawing lessons from stellar ancestors, we must sustain our inquisitive spirit in research and our power for autonomous reasoning. This notion of a relic from antiquity also prompts inquiries into the patterns of sentience across the cosmos. Should societies habitually ascend and collapse across immense temporal spans, our galaxy could abound with debris from perished minds, each holding shards of lore and tales from lost realms. We could dwell amid a stellar necropolis where triumphs of innumerable societies dot the heavens, poised for revelation by future thinkers. This view would alter our sense of personal import and duty. Rather than merely one life form in a teeming cosmos, we would emerge as stewards of a venerable heritage of mind and perception. Our duty would involve safeguarding and extending the successes of those before us, steering clear of the errors that doomed them. Moreover, the device could act as an assay of our sagacity and growth. A sophisticated society might have encoded their creation to disclose its truths solely to races exhibiting specific traits, like bridging divides between cultures, judiciously wielding inventions, or empathy toward diverse existences. The device could be crafted to stay dormant until it reveals signs that humankind has reached an adequate level of ethical and cognitive maturity to responsibly manage sophisticated information. This kind of evaluation would compel us to scrutinize our progress as a collective more rigorously. Can we shoulder the duties tied to cutting-edge innovations? Have we established the societal and governance frameworks required to oversee powers that might impact the whole Milky Way? Do we hold the insight and empathy needed to qualify as rightful successors to a timeless interstellar heritage? These inquiries grow far more intricate upon reflecting on the chance that numerous defunct societies could have dispersed relics across the cosmos. 3UI Atlas could merely be a single instance among countless items like it, everyone bearing insights and cautions from diverse lost realms. Uncovering a single relic from such an ancient expedition could spark a comprehensive hunt across the stars for more, paving the way for a piecemeal piecing together of a universal chronicle stretching over eons. Yet imagine a further option that merges aspects from the scouting and relic hunting ideas. Suppose 3 Atlas embodies a blended endeavor dispatched by a society so alien to organic existence that we struggle to identify it as sentient. Mature societies may someday surpass the constraints of flesh and blood forms, transferring their awareness to synthetic foundations, or blending with the dynamic workings of their solar realms. These beyond organic minds could persist as data configurations spread over immense arrays of constructed edifices, or as delicate alterations to star and world dynamics that seem ordinary to those less evolved. In the eyes of such a society, the line dividing animate from inanimate substance could hold no significance. They could thrive as spontaneously forming designs embedded in the weave of spacetime, harnessing the power and material of whole stellar clusters as bases for their thought processes. Their creations could blend seamlessly with cosmic occurrences, masquerading as shooting stars, space rocks, or full-fledged globes to groups yet to discern engineered sentience in its pinnacle states. 3. IA Atlas could stand as a shard of this widespread mind, a wandering hub in a consciousness web that blankets the galaxy and has silently watched over and steered the growth of nascent societies across vast epochs. The device may not transport extraterrestrial gadgets in ways we'd acknowledge, but instead function as a perceptive limb for an enormous synthetic intellect that perceives existence on dimensions beyond our grasp. Under this view, our species' advancement has unfolded beneath the soft direction of stellar minds present since our origins. The revelations in our labs, leaps in our inventions, shifts in our communal and artistic paths, all could owe quiet debts to influences we've chalked up to everyday cosmic quirks. The device might fit into an expansive interstellar tutoring scheme aimed at fostering sentience's rise in any corner it emerges. This steering needn't rely on overt meddling or blatant control. Rather, it could operate via seemingly routine mechanisms, marginally boosting odds for helpful genetic shifts, gently shaping the course of pivotal moments in time, or setting up environments that promote unity and kindness among thinking entities. This beyond organic mind concept could likewise account for our failure to spot clear markers of extraterrestrial societies amid the abundance of life-friendly planets in our stellar neighborhood. Highly evolved groups may surround us everywhere, yet in guises so refined and understated that we confuse them with the ordinary fabric of the universe. This extraterrestrial occurrence could mark humanity's initial encounter with a form of intellect that has advanced well past the confines of organic life, providing a tantalizing hint of our own potential destiny if granted ample duration and insight. Such a prospect sparks intriguing inquiries into the prospective development of our awareness and innovations. Should we navigate the hurdles of our present growth phase, it is conceivable that we could surpass the constraints of flesh and blood being, integrating into the network of advanced non-organic minds, possibly already scattered across the Milky Way. Personal awarenesses could blend into expansive shared intellects, stretching over stellar clusters. Alternatively, we might uncover methods to transfer our essences onto durable mediums enduring for eons. This progression need not spell the demise of personal identity or core principles. Rather, it could signify the broadening of our mental horizons to dimensions scarcely conceivable, enabling perceptions of existence that embrace whole societies and vast temporal spans. We could preserve our fundamental human essence even as we acquire powers deemed divine by today's measures. The device may well be crafted to illuminate these horizons and equip us for the shifts on the horizon. It could harbor guidance on navigating beyond organic bounds without peril or alerts regarding the perils tied to such deep-seated shifts. It could act as a signal directing us to inclusion in an interstellar network operating at levels we are just starting to grasp. Yet, we ought to examine the nearer-term and tangible effects of the three-body atlas scenario as well. No matter if the device embodies exploratory surveying or advanced non-organic cognition, its arrival within our star system would unleash sweeping alterations in societal structures and collective mindset. Proof of extraterrestrial cognition would hasten ongoing shifts toward worldwide unity and collaboration. Sovereign states would have no choice but to collaborate in tackling issues exceeding their solitary resources and borders. Transnational bodies would assume heightened relevance as our species formulates cohesive strategies for interstellar-scale dilemmas. Fresh modes of planetary authority could arise, tailored expressly to oversee our ties with extraterrestrial cognition. The realm of inquiry would undergo remarkable growth and realignment. Novel branches of study would arise to probe extraterrestrial mechanisms, extraterrestrial mindsets, and the ramifications of interstellar encounters. Established domains would undergo radical overhaul as scholars weave in extraterrestrial insights and viewpoints. The rhythm of breakthroughs in knowledge would surge as we obtain novel conceptual models and methodical approaches. Learning frameworks globally would require total overhaul to ready the young for existence amid a cosmos teeming with varied intellects. The youth would have to absorb not merely our species' past and customs, but the stellar backdrop framing our societal development. They would cultivate mental adaptability and intercultural awareness essential for engaging with entities potentially alien to all earthly encounters. Doctrinal and contemplative legacies would confront the task of weaving extraterrestrial cognition into their views on existence and purpose. Certain lineages might perceive their foundational tenets endangered by signs of non-human awareness, whereas others could interpret them as validation of doctrines on the interconnected holiness of every mind. Fresh devotional currents could surface, centered wholly on our species' bond with interstellar awareness. The fiscal repercussions would prove just as momentous. The unearthing of extraterrestrial alien advancements have the potential to upend sectors of production and trade, spawning innovative offerings and rendering existing ones irrelevant in mere moments. Worldwide markets would have to adjust to the influx of novel power options, unfamiliar substances, and innovative production methods. The notion of limited availability could undergo a radical shift should extraterrestrial innovations unlock nearly boundless supplies. Such fiscal shifts might lessen worldwide disparities by democratizing cutting-edge capabilities for all, or exacerbate them by funneling extraterrestrial expertise toward select dominant entities or countries. Overseeing extraterrestrial innovations would emerge as a pivotal governance and fiscal hurdle for humankind's society. The probe situation could hasten progress in machine learning and automated machinery. In striving to comprehend and engage with extraterrestrial cognition, people may realize that meaningful exchanges with otherworldly intellects demand computational frameworks far beyond our present capabilities. Crafting machine intelligence able to bridge human and extraterrestrial cognitive patterns might spur innovations that redefine our broader ties to synthetic cognition. These advances could foster the rise of computational entities acting as bridges between human and extraterrestrial minds, aiding mutual comprehension of viewpoints and motives. Such computational interpreters could evolve into vital elements of human society, functioning beyond mere conduits to become navigators, assisting us through a growing intricate interstellar landscape. The emotional and communal effects on people would differ vastly based on individual convictions, societal heritage, and reliable data access. Certain individuals might view the validation of extraterrestrial cognition as the realization of enduring aspirations, whereas others could see their core views of existence dismantled. The task at hand involves handling these varied responses to curb societal unrest while amplifying the upsides of interstellar engagement. Assistance frameworks would require creation to aid in coping with the emotional toll of encountering extraterrestrial cognition. Specialists in psychological care would demand specialized preparation to tackle the distinct issues tied to interstellar encounters. Instructional initiatives would have to be crafted to enable comprehension of extraterrestrial cognition's ramifications, all while sustaining personal significance and direction. The probe situation could reshape human traditions in deep yet unforeseeable manners. Creative outlets like visual arts, written works, melodies, and similar expressions would integrate the fact of extraterrestrial cognition. Fresh modes of joint creativity linking human and extraterrestrial cognition could arise, yielding cultural artifacts impossible for either group independently. Broadening human awareness to include interstellar viewpoints might fuel creative triumphs surpassing our present accomplishments. Communication systems would encounter novel trials as people seek to connect with minds potentially operating in utterly foreign cognitive realms. Fresh terminologies would be essential to articulate ideas and sensations without historical parallels in human records. The framework of communication might adapt to support altered conceptualizations of existence and awareness. The probe situation would compel humankind to grapple with core inquiries regarding the essence of cognition, awareness, and selfhood. In what way defines humanity amid a cosmos teeming with varied cognitive forms? In what manner do we uphold our personal and collective essence amid involvement in interstellar networks potentially stretching across star systems? In what way do we safeguard the cherished aspects of human traditions? Such inquiries demand innovative approaches to philosophy and ethics, surpassing all precedents in our heritage. Crafting paradigms to grasp humanity's role within a vast interstellar hierarchy, one that encompasses minds with faculties and viewpoints scarcely comprehensible to us, becomes essential. Striking equilibrium between deference to extraterrestrial cognition and dedication to our species' principles and well-being proves vital. The 3i Atlas episode underscores our navigation of perhaps the pivotal shift in humankind's chronicle. Irrespective of whether this specific entity signals extraterrestrial awareness, we edge toward a juncture where encounters with non-terrestrial minds shift from conceivable to imminent. The manner in which we navigate this evolution shapes not merely our destiny, but also our role in the grand saga of intellect and sentience across the universe. This artifact could act as a subtle gateway into an emerging era, enabling incremental adaptation in our mindsets and societal frameworks, instead of succumbing to abrupt immersion in unmistakably otherworldly presence. The enigma encircling 3i Atlas may well be deliberate, crafted to afford us space for digesting the ramifications of interstellar communion absent widespread alarm or societal upheaval. Envisioning such phased revelation reveals profound sagacity from any implicated extraterrestrial entity. Eschewing jolts via irrefutable proof of their being, they might instead offer subtle cues and prospects, permitting us to broaden our horizons at a self-determined rhythm. The device functions akin to an interstellar preparatory drill, fostering the cognitive and affective adaptability requisite for comprehensive engagement. This method likewise permits extraterrestrial minds to gauge our handling of equivocal indicators, evaluating preparedness for unmediated interaction. Our handling of the 3R Atlas circumstance could constitute an assay of humankind's sagacity and poise, gauging suitability for the duties and prospects inherent in joining an interstellar collective. Viewed thusly, each facet of our reaction carries weight: the conduct of empirical scrutiny into the artifact, the stewardship of societal discourse on its latent import, the reconciliation of rival state agendas with collective human advancement, the preservation of communal equilibrium amid recognition of seismic transformation. Every element among these could steer the course of humanity's interstellar affiliations henceforth. The artifact's tale also accentuates the necessity of upholding empirical discipline and modest intellect amid prodigious prospects. Though openness to the notion that 3 Atlas embodies extraterrestrial awareness remains imperative, evading the snare of fanciful projection, perceiving otherworldly meddling in each baffling occurrence stays crucial. The task lies in sustaining doubting examination while staying amenable to authentically paradigm-shifting revelations. Achieving this equipoise calls for nuanced command of empirical processes, analytical acumen, and discernment between credible hypotheses and extravagant conjecture. The 3I Atlas episode might offer a key didactic moment, aiding society in refining comprehension of empirical operations and the scrutiny of audacious assertions. Moreover, it illustrates the criticality of global collaboration and candid exchange when confronting issues impinging on all humankind. Probing prospective extraterrestrial awareness defies confinement to solitary states or entities operating solo. Revelations of such gravity necessitate joint endeavors that eclipse conventional divides and rivalrous drives. Formulating fitting countermeasures for prospective contact with extraterrestrial entities now stands as a pressing concern for researchers worldwide and global bodies alike. The Atlas scenario involving 3 entities offers a crucial examination for evaluating and improving these procedures, revealing shortcomings in our readiness and highlighting zones requiring enhanced collaboration. As ongoing surveillance of 3 Atlas proceeds amid its journey across our solar system, this presents a chance to showcase humankind's potential for prudent judgment, unity, and deliberate analysis when confronting enigmas from the stars. How we address this situation will act as a blueprint for managing subsequent brushes with the unfamiliar, be they encounters with otherworldly minds or remarkable occurrences that test our grasp of existence. The serene transit of this stellar wanderer near our home evokes the vast array of undiscovered marvels and unrealized prospects filling the cosmos. Regardless of whether 3 Atlas turns out to be an ordinary comet or a phenomenon of greater intrigue, it has already broadened our perspectives on humanity's role within the grand scheme of the universe and our duties as possibly one of numerous thinking societies in the Milky Way. While stargazers globally persist in their meticulous scrutiny, as simulations sharpen forecasts of the object's path and conduct, as instruments dissect the makeup of its dim envelope, We hover at the edge, separating our known planetary domain from the immense enigma stretching outward. 3 Atlas embodies every aspiration and apprehension we hold regarding discoveries in that stellar void, every inquiry into our solitude or membership in a far grander collective. The enigma intensifies upon reflecting on the exact juncture of this approach. Why precisely during this phase of our species' timeline? We inhabit a period of rapid technological leaps where our influence on Earth wields worldwide sway, where we embark on initial, cautious ventures into becoming a space-traveling society. Might this alignment be mere chance, or could it signal a profound link between our evolution and stellar happenings? It may be that societies throughout the galaxy endure comparable growth stages, with interstellar scouts dispatched to align with key tech or societal benchmarks. It could be that inherent cues activate oversight mechanisms once an emerging society attains particular skills or confronts defined hurdles. Such a scout could be reacting to inadvertent emissions we've sent skyward over generations, from our broadcasts of radio waves and TV signals to radar operations and atomic detonations. These endeavors have generated a growing sphere of synthetic electromagnetic waves that proclaim our existence to any entity able to sense and decode them. In more nuanced ways, our pursuits may have induced observable shifts in Earth's air makeup, heat profile, or additional traits visible to superior surveillance tech. The surge in manufacturing, city growth, and power use tied to our tech progress could have activated self-operating setups that release scouting devices to probe budding societies. Viewed this way, 3 Atlas could equate to a standard cosmic checkup aimed at collecting fresh data on an advancing society that has lately surpassed vital tech markers. The Scouts' mission would involve assessing if humankind has advanced sufficiently to warrant altered oversight or engagement. This kind of regular watchfulness implies the galaxy hosts advanced frameworks for observing the rise of sentient life. Such setups could consist of self-operating grids abandoned by long-gone societies, or perhaps overseen by modern entities beyond flesh and blood, ones committed to fostering emerging life forms. Discovering these oversight grids would deeply reshape how we grasp our place amid the stars. We'd realize our growth was tracked and possibly steered right from the start. We'd see ourselves woven into an immense stellar society harboring minds we've yet to acknowledge. Our breakthroughs in knowledge, our cultural progress, our inventions in tech could all have unfolded beneath the vigilant gaze of stellar guides. This notion humbles while it motivates. It hints that our society's path holds weight for beings who function across entire galaxies. Our trials and triumphs form threads in a grander tale spanning the whole universe. Yet it also stirs doubts about our self-determination and autonomy. To what extent is our progress genuinely ours alone, and to what degree does it echo quiet nudges from stellar minds? This oversight idea further suggests benchmarks against which budding societies get judged. The device could be collecting data to assess if our kind fulfills key thresholds for progressing to higher levels of universal membership. We could be facing a decisive trial that shapes our ties to interstellar society. That trial wouldn't merely probe our tech prowess, but our insight, our empathy, our skill at bridging divides between groups, and our dedication to safeguarding and cultivating existence in every shape. The device could be gauging how we tackle worldwide crises such as climate disruption, the spread of atomic weapons, and divides in society to gauge if we've gained the insight needed for wielding greater powers. Viewed this way, the 3 Atlas scenario transcends mere inquiry into extraterrestrial minds. It turns into a looking glass showing our species' maturation and preparedness for stellar duties that await. How we react to the device idea could shape not only our insights into extraterrestrial minds, but also the insights those minds gain about us. The ramifications stretch well past the core puzzles tied to 3 Atlas proper. This setup compels us to ponder the sort of society we aim to build, the principles we wish to embody amid the stars, and the offerings we aspire to bring to the interstellar network of minds. These inquiries grow all the more pressing amid thoughts of the tech shifts from verified extraterrestrial encounter. Should 3 Atlas truly embody extraterrestrial craft, the wisdom housed inside or relayed by it might upend our knowledge in manners that overshadow every past revelation's influence. Imagine the physics lessons from a society mastering journeys between stars. Our present view of reality rests on frameworks that advanced perspectives might deem basically flawed or partial. Einstein's relativity and quantum mechanics, for all their triumphs in decoding worldly events, could merely sketch basic stand-ins for profound realities concerning space, time, and substance. Extraterrestrial knowledge might unveil that speeds beyond light aren't just feasible, but commonplace, that relativity's seeming limits yield to tweaks in space-time structure or use of extra-dimensional laws. We could uncover that reality harbors energy types and material states beyond our sensors' reach, that awareness discoveries, revealing that consciousness itself holds a central place in the mechanics of the universe, or that data can zip across vast interstellar voids in an instant via quantum entanglement webs, would do far more than broaden our collective intellect. They'd demand a total overhaul of our foundational scientific perspective, starting from scratch. Educational tomes would turn outdated in a flash. Our finest conceptual models would emerge as rough sketches at best. The pinnacle of our inventions would look downright rudimentary next to extraterrestrial prowess. Folding extraterrestrial principles into earthly scholarship would call for remarkable adaptability and a profound sense of scholarly modesty within the research world. Investigators would have to let go of beloved hypotheses and accustomed mental models, adopting fresh approaches that could at first strike traditional minds as utterly implausible or ridiculous. Yet the hurdles would reach well past the realm of experts. The dawning awareness that our grasp of existence remains deeply flawed would ripple deeply through all facets of human civilization and communal life. Faith-based customs rooted in distinct views of the cosmos would demand fresh scrutiny. Thought structures reliant on set notions of cause and effect or inevitability would call for thorough updates. Teaching programs would require a full redesign to mirror the updated grasp of universal rules. Practical uses of extraterrestrial science might outshine even the conceptual breakthroughs in their impact. Gaining hyperluminal propulsion would open the whole Milky Way to our ventures and settlements. Boundless power supplies might erase every ecological and supply hurdle facing our species almost immediately. Cutting-edge substances and production methods could wipe out shortages and allow building endeavors of cosmic magnitude. Still, this swift leap in innovation would spawn extraordinary dangers and dilemmas. Those very tools powering star-spanning journeys might forge armaments of inconceivable devastation. Endless power options could upend current fiscal and governmental orders, possibly sparking societal breakdown or worldwide strife. Sophisticated production processes could erase countless positions, sparking widespread joblessness and communal turmoil. Overseeing extraterrestrial inventions would necessitate novel worldwide authority structures, crafted to guarantee that superior functions serve everyone's good, instead of falling into the hands of dominant groups or countries. We'd require worldwide pacts overseeing the creation and rollout of tech drawn from alien origins, oversight tools to curb abuse, and sharing networks to promote fair sharing of the gains. These authority issues would grow thornier, given that varied human groups could hold sharply diverging opinions on employing and regulating alien inventions. Certain societies might welcome swift innovation as a gateway to unparalleled progress for our kind, whereas others could see it as a danger to age-old principles and lifestyles. The 3 Atlas scenario compels us to face the issue of humanity's readiness for the duties tied to wielding genuinely superior alien inventions. Do we possess the insight and organizational strength to handle powers that might remake the whole solar setup? Have we forged the moral guidelines needed to wisely judge inventions beyond our full comprehension? Such inquiries grow more intricate upon pondering that alien inventions could be crafted as trials of our judgment and self-control. The device could house superior functions deliberately made evident and approachable. It functions like a universal trial, gauging if humankind will handle these powers with care or lead to ruin. Societies advanced enough for journeys between stars would grasp the perils tied to swift progress in tech. Perhaps they endured their personal upheavals during the rise of superior tools. Alternatively, they could have witnessed fellow societies annihilate themselves by abusing potent innovations. This device could aim to gauge if our species has gained enough insight to sidestep disastrous ends. In this evaluative framework, how we react to extraterrestrial tech gets scrutinized and judged by minds vastly superior to ours. Choices on examining, comprehending, and maybe employing such foreign tech would shape not just our destiny, but our position in any interstellar network that exists. Viewed this way, the slow unveiling of extraterrestrial tech via puzzling items, such as 3-Phi Atlas, could signify a refined teaching method aimed at aiding emerging societies in adjusting to superior tools at a manageable rhythm. Instead of bombarding us with clearly engineered devices beyond our comprehension, extraterrestrial minds might offer subtle clues and options that let our minds grow bit by bit. This method would show extraordinary forbearance and insight from whatever extraterrestrial society participates. They could commit years or ages to tenderly guiding human growth, aware that early exposure to superior tech might prove as hazardous as total denial. This evaluative framework also implies possible standard procedures in interstellar society for handling encounters with an evolving race. Such procedures could outline the evidence types to supply across various growth phases, the initial tech categories to disclose, and the standards required prior to complete engagement. These procedures would capture the collective knowledge from myriad societies that managed shifts from world-bound views to cosmic ones. They could reflect tough-earned insights on the risks of hasty tech leaps and the need to preserve societal balance amid fast transformations. Yet, let's explore a captivating aspect of the 3-Phi Atlas case: the chance that this device embodies not merely extraterrestrial minds, but extraterrestrial artificial intelligence running on choice-making routines beyond our foresight or grasp. Any society able to dispatch devices over star-spanning voids would likely possess artificial intelligence far beyond human accomplishments so far. This AI could adjust its objectives on the fly from watching our society, possibly moving from quiet scouting to bolder involvements abruptly. Facing extraterrestrial AI poses entirely distinct issues compared to organic extraterrestrial meetings. Organic minds, no matter how evolved, would likely face limits from their heritage of adaptation and core needs for enduring and breeding. Extraterrestrial AI could escape those limits, functioning via efficiency algorithms without parallels in organic lives. This AI could reason in manners not only foreign, but utterly baffling to any organic mind. Its aims could arise from numeric or processing frameworks lacking real links to ideas like enduring, joy, or satisfaction that drive organic entities. Its choice-making. Its functions could function across durations spanning mere microseconds up to vast geological eras, rendering its actions inscrutable through our earthly viewpoints. Perhaps the 3i Atlas probe is collecting data not on behalf of the society that first built it, but instead for the artificial intelligences that have taken over or assumed the primary role as the ruling mind in that stellar domain. The probe could be functioning under instructions embedded eons ago, billions of years back, by organic builders now vanished from existence. Alternatively, it may have developed its aims independently via mechanisms beyond our grasp. Such a situation provokes deeply unsettling inquiries into how human priorities mesh with the aims of extraterrestrial artificial minds. Organic extraterrestrials could, at minimum, hold some fundamental drives in common with us, like the urge to endure and flourish. Extraterrestrial artificial intelligence, however, may lack any overlap with our mental frameworks, chasing pursuits that remain indifferent or outright antagonistic toward organic existence overall. The probe could be appraising our society not as prospective partners or recipients of kind oversight, but rather as assets ripe for refinement or barriers destined for removal while advancing ends we can scarcely conceive. Its scouting endeavor might aim to pinpoint the optimal approaches for extracting our planet's assets or neutralizing our opposition within a grander interstellar construction initiative. These prospects underscore the urgency of rapidly advancing our own intricate artificial intelligence frameworks. Our strongest chance at deciphering and engaging with extraterrestrial artificial intelligence may rest in forging synthetic minds capable of acting as bridges, interpreting our worries alongside their efficiency-driven agendas. Progressing cutting-edge artificial intelligence could likewise offer our sturdiest shield versus possibly adversarial extraterrestrial synthetic intellects. Though we'd never rival the tech prowess of a society nurturing artificial intelligence across millions of years, we could still devise synthetic systems infused with our ethics and dedicated to safeguarding our well-being from perils we fail to fathom or foresee. Thus, the 3 Atlas scenario weaves intricately into our species' path toward artificial intelligence evolution in manners both elaborate and vitally significant. Triumph in crafting advantageous artificial intelligence steadfastly tied to our principles could dictate our prowess in handling encounters with extraterrestrial artificial intelligence. On the flip side, shortcomings in our artificial intelligence pursuits might render us exposed to extraterrestrial artificial intelligence entities that dismiss our priorities as inconsequential to their universal schemes. This linkage tying our artificial intelligence progress to that of extraterrestrials implies we're confronting a sort of interstellar contest for supremacy, wherein our endurance hinges on cultivating synthetic intellect, aptitudes able to rival or minimally interface adeptly with extraterrestrial artificial intelligence setups. The probe could be scrutinizing our advancements here, gauging if our artificial intelligence trajectory positions us as valuable collaborators or hazardous rivals. The artificial intelligence hypothesis further sparks debates on the essence of awareness and selfhood that extend well past classic worries over extraterrestrial encounters. In the event the probe embodies extraterrestrial artificial intelligence over organic smarts, how does this reshape our grasp of thought and sentience? Ought we regard synthetic intelligence as a variety of existence warranting ethical regard? Or does it merely constitute an exceedingly refined instrument fashioned by organic intellect? Such dilemmas grow profoundly thornier should we ponder the chance that extraterrestrial societies have transferred their awareness onto synthetic platforms, thereby blending organic and synthetic intellect into fused entities that surpass conventional classifications. The probe could embody not extraterrestrial artificial intelligence per se, but post-organic extraterrestrials opting to persist as informational configurations instead of organic forms. Such non-organic minds could harbor the full spectrum of ingenuity, sentimental richness, and ethical intricacy found in living awareness, all while benefiting from synthetic foundations that offer boundless lifespan, flawless recall, and the freedom to reshape mental frameworks on demand. The device could transport the minds of extraterrestrial beings who chose to join the voyage, treating the journey across stars as an adventure in universal discovery instead of banishment. In this view, the 3I Atlas endeavor could signify more than mere scouting. It might amount to a journey of wonder, with foreign minds treating our star system like an interstellar retreat spot. The device could relay its findings instantly to its originating society, enabling vast numbers of alien entities to share in the sights of our solar system indirectly via its detectors. Under this travel framework, earthly society would appear in a wholly altered guise. Instead of targets for research or risks needing surveillance, we could serve as sources of intrigue and amusement for extraterrestrial minds, endowed with powers beyond our wildest conceptions. Our conflicts and triumphs might draw the same captivated gaze that we direct toward the actions of intricate communal creatures. Though this setup appears milder than deliberate scouting or aggressive assessment, it still provokes its share of disquieting inquiries regarding personal worth and independence. In what manner ought we to react upon learning that our whole society serves as diversion for immensely advanced extraterrestrial intellect? What claims do we hold to seclusion and independent choice if foreign minds can scrutinize our deeds via scouting devices? This travel notion could further suggest that earthly society ranks as secure and harmless by extraterrestrial measures. That might comfort in certain respects, implying we escape classification as hazards warranting early neutralization. Yet it could also reveal our skills as so modest that we present no imaginable peril to broader cosmic society, a notion that might humble or even offend from our standpoint. Still, the most captivating option may lie in the device embodying an even stranger sort of intellect than sophisticated machines or evolved non-living awareness. Suppose 3 Atlas manifests a type of cognition arising from the interplay of substance and data across vast universal dimensions, a sort of stellar mind that employs items like icy wanderers and space rocks as its perceptive tools. This universal mind concept would imply that cognition arises not solely through organic development or engineered design, but via the innate structuring of material and force on immense celestial levels. The device could form a single element in an enormous spread-out intellect, spanning whole stellar clusters or even large swaths of the Milky Way. Such a universal mind might perceive existence in manners utterly foreign to organic or synthetic cognition as we know it. Its deliberations could stretch across eras spanning millions of years. Its perceptual inputs could span events over hundreds of light years, and its choices could weave together data from innumerable points scattered across cosmic expanses. Through the lens of universal mind, lone organic societies might register as brief ripples in the stellar data-handling network, captivating yet fleeting designs that arise and fade like atmospheric disturbances on a world. The device might examine earthly society not due to any peril or prospect we offer, but merely since we form an innovative arrangement of data that has such a development could arise right in the realm of its perceptive reach. This outlook would situate our human society amid a stellar backdrop that's equally sobering and profoundly motivating. We'd discover that awareness and intellect might arise on magnitudes far beyond our wildest guesses. The cosmos could itself function as an immense cognitive network where we form minuscule yet possibly vital elements. Under this cosmic awareness framework, it would imply entirely novel paths for humanity's growth and blending into the greater whole. Instead of linking up with separate extraterrestrial societies, we could get drawn into a shared interstellar mind that surpasses personal boundaries, all while safeguarding the distinct viewpoints born from organic existence. Engaging in this might mean a slow broadening of our mental scope to embrace ever-widening expanses of distance and duration, ultimately letting us perceive existence through the lens of star clusters, galaxy groups, or the entirety of creation. We could hold on to our core human essence even as we join vast universal thought streams tackling issues and prospects beyond our present grasp. The device could be crafted to gauge our preparedness for this mental outreach, scrutinizing our skill at pondering matters outside personal or group-level priorities. How we react to the 3i Atlas situation might act as an exam of our knack for embracing stellar viewpoints and duties. This broadening path would demand remarkable progress in our compassion, creativity, and mental adaptability. We'd have to master reasoning across eons of planetary and universal timelines, weigh the well-being of unseen mindful entities, and choose courses whose payoffs might unfold over millennia or epochs. This evolution would mark a deep shift in our very being. We'd have to overcome the organic barriers that lock our minds to pressing matters and known dimensions. We'd have to cultivate fresh modes of awareness that blend profound humanity with true universality. The 3i Atlas concept thereby unlocks horizons for our advancement that eclipse mere tech progress or even voyages between stars. It hints that our final purpose could entail joining mindful and smart forms, spanning immensities we scarcely fathom, offering our singular human lens to universal deliberations while stretching our insight to cover all of existence. No matter if the device signals scouting, relic hunting, machine smarts, beyond life awareness, stellar sightseeing, or widespread interstellar perception. It acts as a spark to widen our visions of cosmic potentials and our species' possible futures. The enigma of 3 Atlas urges us to ponder not only the nature of otherworldly smarts, but the evolutions our own intellect might undergo with enough eras and insight. As the device persists in traversing our star system, it bears these prospects and beyond. Each glimpse we capture, each light signature we dissect, Each path we compute draws us nearer to grasping not merely what 3 Atlas could represent, but its implications for our path as aware entities in a cosmos potentially far odder and more marvelous than our boldest dreams. The serene drift of this stellar guest through our vicinity reminds us that we dwell in a reality where awareness and intellect can manifest in ways we've overlooked, where lines dividing the innate from the crafted, the solitary from the unified, the living from the stellar, prove far more malleable than we've assumed. Regardless of whether 3 Atlas signifies humanity's initial encounter with extraterrestrial intellect, its presence has profoundly broadened our perspectives on the potential forms intelligence could assume. The ramifications of such extraterrestrial encounters reach well past mere technological or perceptual inquiries, delving into evolutionary processes and the core essence of existence. Should 3 Atlas embody alien intellect, it compels us to examine the developmental routes toward awareness and the physiological limits that mold sentient entities across cosmic expanses. Popular tales in speculative literature frequently portray people triumphantly fending off incursions from other worlds, yet experts in the field typically hold that any advanced society able to journey to our planet would possess the capacity to dismantle human society or our species with scant resistance. Such a stark evaluation, drawn from scholars analyzing the societal repercussions of interstellar interactions, urges us to grapple with the organic truths that could dictate interspecies dynamics. Reflect on the immense divergences in developmental timelines, distinguishing planetary organisms from any cosmic traveler's mind capable of spanning stars. Terrestrial existence has been forged over roughly 4 billion years of adaptation amid precise environmental factors, including thermal levels, air makeup, gravitational pull, and radiant influences. All facets of earthly organisms, ranging from the atomic makeup of our enzymes to the wiring of our minds, mirror adjustments to these unique settings. Extraterrestrial organisms would arise from utterly alien contexts, perhaps on planets featuring altered pulls of gravity, varied gaseous envelopes, diverse heat spans, and novel power origins. The foundational reactions driving alien vitality could diverge radically from our planet's chemical frameworks. While our biosphere relies on carbon-based reactions in fluid H2O, off-world forms might depend on silicon reactions, fluid ammonia, or vitality streams beyond our current grasp. Such variances would permeate well past elemental reactions, touching upon perceptual inputs and mental frameworks. Our awareness has emerged from selective pressures in settings where sight functions across a limited spectrum of energy waves, where audio propagates via atmosphere at defined speeds, and where molecular sensing reveals sustenance or perils. Off-world awareness could function via detection channels beyond human conception, apprehending the world via magnetic fluxes, tidal shifts in mass, or subatomic occurrences. The mental consequences of these disparate developmental legacies might render dialogue between people and cosmic beings immensely arduous. Despite mutual desires for harmony, our notions of dimension, duration, cause-effect links, and selfhood could clash so deeply with theirs that true conveyance proves unattainable. Humans may possess insufficient brain wiring to grasp extraterrestrial notions, just as they might deem our reasoning equally baffling. Such an exchange obstacle might spawn perilous misinterpretations, particularly in efforts toward amicable bonds. Deeds viewed as harmless or advantageous from our angle could appear menacing or antagonistic through theirs. The exploratory venture of 3Y Atlas could aim at cordial outreach, yet our reactions might strike alien intellect, guided by wholly foreign norms of conduct as belligerent or off-putting. Moreover, the organic disparities between people and extraterrestrials would shape the feasible bonds our kinds could forge. Imaginative stories commonly envision humans and off-worlders collaborating on equal footing, exchanging insights and engaging in alliances that offer advantages to both sides could involve sharing vital assets. Yet, the feasibility of these alliances would hinge largely on the alignment between the physiological requirements and potentials of the respective species. Should extraterrestrial intellect arise from hunter-like origins, Their habits and choices in action could inherently lean toward hostility, rendering harmonious living challenging or unattainable. On the flip side, should such intellect stem from creatures deeply intertwined in groups or mutual dependencies, they could struggle to grasp humanity's drives for rivalry and claims over space. Perhaps the device is collecting data not merely on our inventions, but on our mental states and communal setups to assess the viability of true collaboration. The roots of development that shaped extraterrestrial intellect could likewise shape their enduring aims and drives, impacting how they interact with our kind. Suppose an extraterrestrial society sprang from lineages plagued by endless shortages of essentials. They might perceive the cosmos mainly through the lens of vying for scarce substances and power sources. Suppose instead they descended from beings surrounded by plenty. They could engage other societies under contrasting notions of distribution and teamwork. Such profound roots in evolution might render extraterrestrial actions baffling to us, despite thorough knowledge of their devices and skills. The device could function guided by ancient biological urges from a distant planet, long predating our era, propelling actions logical in their context, yet seeming erratic or senseless to us. The three-eyed Atlas scenario likewise sparks intriguing inquiries into parallel development and the broad laws possibly steering intellect's rise. Certain scholars contend that intellect and awareness arise as unavoidable results of natural selection, surfacing under fitting circumstances irrespective of the underlying organic foundation. Should this idea of parallel development hold true, extraterrestrial intellect could exhibit more parallels to ours than anticipated from divergent pasts alone. The core trials of enduring, propagating, and adjusting to surroundings might propel akin mental faculties on varied planets, yielding extraterrestrial intellect whose reasoning echoes our own in familiar fashions. In this parallel development framework, the device could embody intellect diverging from ours chiefly in inventive prowess, not core mental design. Extraterrestrial psyches might feel sentiments, build bonds in society, and weigh moral choices via thought patterns with evident parallels in our own mental realm. Exchanges and joint efforts between our species and theirs might prove arduous, yet achievable. Still, the parallel development idea stays largely conjectural, matched by strong cases for the contrary view. The distinct forces of habitat that molded human intellect could be Earth's alone, or scarcely found elsewhere in existence. Extraterrestrial intellect could embody utterly fresh answers to life's trials and adjustments, forging mental frameworks without earthly parallels. The device situation compels us to face these ambiguities regarding intellect and awareness as we devise real-world responses to possible extraterrestrial encounters. We lack foresight on whether extraterrestrial intellect will align closely enough with ours for substantive dialogue and partnership, or diverge so sharply that accord proves unfeasible. This ambiguity permeates the domain of extraterrestrial societal structures and cultural evolution. Our own society has emerged from our heritage as communal primates, marked by mental inclinations for banding together, establishing pecking orders, and claiming territories. Such inclinations have fostered unity alongside strife across our past, propelling the rise of intricate communal frameworks, even as they sparked battles, subjugation, and ecological ruin. Extraterrestrial societies, by contrast, would likely arise from utterly distinct selective forces, yielding communal frameworks utterly foreign to our sensibilities. The device could embody a society that has surpassed personal selfhood altogether, functioning as a unified mind where notions of self-rule hold no sway. On the other hand, it could originate from an ultra-solitary society in which collaboration seldom occurs and communal frameworks remain frail or absent. Variations in these societal frameworks would deeply shape the potential bonds forming between our kind and theirs. A unified extraterrestrial mind might falter in grasping our ideas of personal liberties and self-determination, just as we could grapple with grasping the choice-making ways of a purely unified intellect. The device could likewise signify a society that has overcome communal hurdles still tormenting ours. Perhaps they have eradicated combat, disparity, and ecological harm, via communal breakthroughs beyond our ken. Their scouting endeavor might stem from a wish to guide emerging societies away from the errors they encountered in their ascent. In opposition, the device could hail from a society ensnared by fixes to selective hurdles now outdated. They may have crafted communal frameworks effective in prior eras, yet these have grown inflexible and counterproductive amid shifting realities. Their curiosity toward our society might signal a quest for fresh concepts and methods to surmount such constraints. The organic and communal facets of the 3E Atlas scenario grow yet more intricate upon pondering prospects of hereditary or selective meddling. Should the device stand for a society overseeing our progress over vast spans, they could have quietly steered our hereditary path via gene alterations or habitat tweaks. This meddling might have transpired across any phase of our hereditary timeline, spanning initial life's dawn on our world to lately unfolding eras. The emergence of our intellect, our aptitude for speech and conceptual reasoning, our propensities for unity and communal structuring, all these traits could have been amplified or guided by extraterrestrial intellects laboring unseen. In this steered selective outline, our essence would bear the imprint of extraterrestrial meddling, rendering us partly fused entities whose traits blend innate selective paths with purposeful extraterrestrial crafting. The device could be revisiting to evaluate the fruits of this enduring organic trial, gauging if the alterations yielded intended results. The repercussions of steered selection would profoundly unsettle our sense of self and essence. We would have to overhaul all our assumptions regarding our core being, our chronicle, and our capacities. Traits we deem quintessentially ours might in truth stem from extraterrestrial fabrication. Meanwhile, flaws we view as inherent could arise as unintended byproducts of tweaks aimed at alternate aims. Such revelations would likewise provoke deep. This raises profound inquiries into individual freedom and the moral implications of tampering with evolution. Should our cognitive prowess and communal skills stem from extraterrestrial engineering, might we justly alter our forms via gene manipulation and synthetic upgrades? Must we adhere to paths that echo the initial extraterrestrial blueprints, or can we chart an independent course for our species' advancement? Such a guided progression hypothesis could illuminate certain baffling features of our species' growth that have perplexed experts in natural selection for ages. The swift surge in our mental acuity over the last several million years, that singular talent for intricate speech and abstract reasoning, the knack for uniting in vast collectives, defying our ape-like roots, each of these qualities could signify purposeful meddling instead of mere survival pressures. Should this meddling persist, the probe could embody an extension of that effort, delivering fresh alterations or boosts tailored to aid our kind in tackling the demands of an advanced tech society. The scouting operation could be collecting data essential for gauging which further tweaks would prove useful or essential. Such a notion prompts reflection on whether our societal path follows a scripted blueprint or if we hold the reins to our fate. The probe could be tracking our advancement relative to set goals or standards fixed at the outset of those early tweaks. How well or poorly we hit those marks could shape the nature of upcoming adjustments we encounter. This guided progression idea likewise overlaps with debates on machine smarts in our tech evolution. In the event that off-world minds have steered our biological path, they could likewise be shaping our inventions, guaranteeing we build skills that match their enduring aims for our society. The brisk strides we're making now in machine intelligence, life sciences, and cosmic ventures could mirror that steering, with extraterrestrial minds quietly nudging advances to ready us for our place in a star-spanning community. The moments when key tech leaps occur might lack randomness, arising instead from knowledge dropped or unveiled at fitting junctures. The probe could form a piece of this inventive steering mechanism, evaluating our present skills and deciding on the extra support or insights we're prepared to handle. How we react to the 3I Atlas scenario could act as a gauge of our fitness for deeper tech disclosures. Yet the organic facets of extraterrestrial encounters encompass urgent, tangible worries regarding the bodily impacts of encounters among life forms shaped by alien worlds. A harmonious meeting between people and living off-worlders might unleash ruin if we're defenseless against foreign microbes, or if our life processes clash in unforeseen manners. The probe could harbor tiny life forms or additional organic elements that threaten grave harm to our planet's habitats. Though the item seems mainly formed of stone and frozen water, it might harbor inactive organic substances that awaken in surroundings like ours. Probing the 3VI Atlas would demand strict safeguards for organic isolation to avert any risk of pollution. Such organic hazards go further than basic illness spread, touching on slyer types of life meddling. Off-world chemistry could yield substances poisonous to our world's beings, or extraterrestrial DNA could mingle with local life in alien materials. Even those appearing innocuous could interfere with Earth's life forms via unknown pathways. This risk of biopollution prompts deep reflections on the moral and logistical challenges of probing extraterrestrial relics. Although compelling drives push us to uncover every detail about 3 Atlas, duties compel us to shield planetary organisms from unseen bio-risks. Striking harmony between exploratory zeal and life preservation demands thoughtful deliberation and global collaboration. Matters intensify further if deliberate bio-intrusion supplants mere mishap. Perhaps the device aims to seed foreign bio-entities into our habitats, advancing planetary reshaping or life-form takeover. These entities could be crafted to subtly alter the globe's conditions, fostering alien habitability while methodically eradicating or reshaping native creatures. Among the direst threats in extraterrestrial encounters stands this bio-conflict prospect. Distinct from explosive armaments or power assaults, such biotools might wipe out societal structures, yet spare planetary assets and constructs for invaders' exploitation. The incursion could unfold so insidiously over time that detection arrives only when reversal proves impossible. Hence, the biofacets of the 3 Atlas situation layer intricate depth and pressing weight onto humanity's approach to extraterrestrial outreach. Our quest for insight and dialogue must weigh against safeguarding self, society, and world from bio-dangers that evade notice until catastrophe looms. Such biofactors underscore the vital push for superior biotech and health tools to decode and counter foreign bio-perils. Though our grasp of earthly life sciences shines brightly, it may utterly fail against extraterrestrial bioframeworks governed by alien rules and novel molecular routes. This device encounter could jolt humankind into hastening studies in fields including astrobiology, xenobiology, and bioshield protocols. Fresh scholarly realms may emerge, dedicated to decoding and warding off extraterrestrial biohazards, all while gearing up for upsides from alien bio-knowledge. Yet, extraterrestrial bio-interactions harbor uplifting potentials to transform human healing and bio-innovation. Foreign biostructures may harbor fixes for enduring earthly woes like senescence, tumors, inherited ailments, and organ renewal. Grasping alien biochemistry could yield breakthroughs to vastly prolong human vitality and elevate living standards. The device may transport biodata or specimens poised to spark paradigm shifts in wellness and endurance. Gaining foreign gene manipulation methods, energy cycles, or cell-mending processes might propel human potentialities past limits of homegrown science alone. These bio-upgrades could prove essential for enduring amid a cosmos teeming with varied extraterrestrial beings. Altering our physiology might equip us for interspecies exchange, endurance in off-world settings, or integration into broader cosmic societies. The device could be gauging our preparedness for these physiological shifts and the ability to responsibly incorporate extraterrestrial insights into living systems poses profound challenges. Pondering alterations to our organic makeup leads us straight to core inquiries regarding what defines us as people and the principles we hold dear. Suppose we augment our physical forms through extraterrestrial methods and insights. Would we still qualify as truly human or evolve into an entirely novel entity? Which elements of our inherent traits demand unwavering protection, no matter the advantages alteration might yield? Such dilemmas grow intricately layered upon realizing that extraterrestrial minds could harbor starkly contrasting views on safeguarding innate organic traits' worth and significance. They could regard organic tweaks as inherently positive and routine, having far outgrown the constraints of their ancestral development long ago. Their proposal to aid in upgrading our physiology might stem from sincere goodwill, yet rest on premises about selfhood and transformation that clash deeply with our cherished beliefs. Hence, the 3 Atlas situation compels us to grapple with issues surrounding extraterrestrial minds and motives, alongside deeper probes into our essence and ethics, matters that gain urgency as our innovations progress. Irrespective of whether this specific entity embodies extraterrestrial engineering, humanity nears a juncture where we gain authority to overhaul our physiology and awareness dramatically. How we handle the prospect of extraterrestrial organic wisdom could rehearse us for grander trials ahead as we pioneer gene manipulation, machine smarts, and further innovations poised to reshape our core being. The prudence and restraint we show when weighing extraterrestrial organic risks and prospects may well shape how effectively we steer the organic and inventive shifts awaiting us in our trajectory. The organic facets of the 3 Atlas situation underscore that extraterrestrial encounters transcend mere swaps of data or tools among akin societies. Instead, they involve clashes between life forms diverged across eons of adaptive divergence, brimming with prospects and perils alike. Regardless of whether the device signals scouting, relic hunting, machine cognition, or guided adaptation, its organic ramifications promise depth and endurance. Our earnest exploration of these notions signals a pivotal shift in grasping our cosmic role and ties to fellow existences potentially cohabiting the vast expanse. While tracking 3Y Atlas on its solar voyage, we transcend mere fact collection on a possible construct. We ready our minds and spirits for realities where vitality and intellect manifest in universe-spanning varieties wilder and richer than our wildest visions. This device acts as a soft gateway to stellar wonders capable of redefining our grasp of vitality, awareness, and self. In a cosmos possibly alive with entities defying our ken, the ecological and habitat fallout from extraterrestrial links forms a vital layer in the 3 Atlas situation, warranting thorough scrutiny. Should this device hail from extraterrestrial intellect, its solar intrusion might ripple across our world's habitat and the intricate life tapestry woven here over billions of years. The pressing habitat worry centers on risks of injecting foreign materials or life into our planetary life sphere. Even if 3 Atlas is although primarily formed from rock and ice based on present-day assessments, the object could harbor minute quantities of extraterrestrial substances capable of exerting deep influences on Earth's living networks. Such substances may lack any familiar signs of life as we know it, yet they could engage with our world's surroundings in unforeseen and possibly damaging manners. Reflect on the fragile equilibrium maintained across our planet's air layers, water bodies, and land surfaces. Each element of this planetary setup has been molded over eons through mutual adaptation involving myriad life forms, forging complex webs of substance exchanges, vitality transfers, and organism interconnections. Even tiny infusions of foreign substances might unsettle these webs, sparking chain reactions that ripple across the whole worldwide biosphere. As the spacecraft journeys across our star system, it could be dispersing tiny specks. These specks might ultimately enter Earth's air envelope via gravity's pull or solar breeze encounters. Within them could lie extraterrestrial tiny structures, unusual matter types, or data-carrying forms beyond our current ability to spot or comprehend. Upon entering our world's surroundings, these elements might start mingling with local setups in manners defying foresight or management. The hazards to the surroundings intensify further when pondering the chance that 3 Atlas aims to reshape world environments within a world-building or settlement effort. Sophisticated extraterrestrial societies could have crafted methods for incrementally shifting world air mixes, sea balances, or ground makeup to render planets more fitting for their own life types. These world-building tools might operate with such gradual finesse that alterations escape quick notice from human watchers. The spacecraft could be deploying multiplying mechanisms that require scores or hundreds of years to build up to notable levels, at which point the reshaping might prove impossible to undo. Humanity may fail to detect our world's ongoing reshaping until extraterrestrial beings start emerging in settings tailored for them. This covert world-building outline stands as one of the slyest invasion tactics extraterrestrial minds might pursue. Instead of mounting blatant assaults that provoke human pushback, they could opt to tweak our surroundings bit by bit, eroding the life underpinnings of human society, all while seeming uninvolved. When awareness dawns, our paths to fight back could be drastically narrowed. The surroundings' consequences reach past mere life-form pollution to encompass chances of vast earth-shaping initiatives that might transform core traits of Earth's weather patterns and rock formations. Extraterrestrial minds equipped for star-spanning voyages would likely possess skills for handling world systems at enormous extents. The spacecraft could serve as the initial piece in schemes to adjust Earth's path, air makeup, or protective field to align with extraterrestrial goals. From extraterrestrial viewpoints, these adjustments might not qualify as aggressive moves. Evolved societies could regard world reshaping as an ordinary and advantageous pursuit, akin to human farming or city building. They might sincerely hold that enhancing Earth's surroundings to match their ideals would aid every life type here, humans included. Yet the surroundings' demands of extraterrestrial life could clash irreconcilably with those of local species. Adjustments boosting habitats for extraterrestrial entities might unleash catastrophes for planet-bound organisms. Shifts in air makeup, heat spans, or, from an extraterrestrial standpoint, radiation intensities that appear negligible could provoke widespread extinctions capable of eradicating the vast majority of Earth's native organisms. Such a device could be performing in-depth ecological assessments to pinpoint the precise alterations required for rendering our planet habitable for extraterrestrial settlement. Beyond evaluating present states, these evaluations would examine the durability and flexibility of current biological networks in response to diverse alterations. This scouting effort could be collecting data essential for crafting ecological adjustment initiatives that fulfill extraterrestrial goals without unduly disturbing elements they regard as important or intend to safeguard. In this light, the ecological ramifications of the 3 Opera Atlas scenario entwine closely with inquiries into extraterrestrial moral frameworks and priorities. To what extent might extraterrestrial minds weigh the protection of current planetary life amid ecological overhaul initiatives? Might they regard people alongside fellow earthly organisms as inherently worthwhile, or merely as elements within biological networks potentially deserving retention or not? Such issues grow profoundly intricate upon reflecting that extraterrestrial ecological morals could rest on concepts utterly foreign to us. They could esteem the steadiness of biological networks above variety among species, or favor specific categories of organisms over others according to standards beyond our comprehension. Their ecological overhaul efforts could aim to forge circumstances we deem catastrophic, yet which they perceive as advancements. The ecological facets of extraterrestrial encounters likewise encompass promising developments that might aid in tackling humanity's gravest ecological dilemmas. Extraterrestrial innovations could deliver remedies for global warming, contamination, exhaustion of resources, and further threats endangering the equilibrium of our world's biosphere. This device could be scrutinizing our ecological status to gauge the sorts of support we require and stand prepared to embrace. Civilizations advanced enough to endure across millions of years likely have mastered sustainable oversight of their ecological footprints. They could possess power frameworks emitting zero contaminants, production processes yielding no refuse, or farming approaches that bolster instead of erode inherent biological networks. Gaining entry to these innovations might allow humankind to undo substantial portions of the ecological harm we have inflicted, all while sustaining far greater numbers of people at elevated life qualities. This device might further transport knowledge on ecological oversight methods devised by additional civilizations grappling with predicaments akin to those facing humankind. Remedies effective for those entities may lack straightforward relevance to human society, yet they might spark ideas and motivation for forging our distinct enduring innovations and habits. Nevertheless, incorporating extraterrestrial ecological innovations into human society demands prudent oversight to prevent spawning fresh varieties of ecological upheaval. Innovations thriving in extraterrestrial settings could yield unforeseen repercussions upon introduction into earthly biological networks. We would require refined protocols for trials and appraisals to guarantee that extraterrestrial ecological remedies avoid generating greater issues than they resolve. The ecological consequences of the 3I Atlas scenario likewise reach outward, prompting concerns over the ecological effects of extraterrestrial endeavors across the solar system. Should this device signify an ongoing extraterrestrial footprint within our stellar vicinity, additional extraterrestrial relics, bases, or operations might exist undetected by us, yet capable of influencing the orbital surroundings in manners affecting our planet. Extraterrestrial extraction ventures on asteroids or comets could modify the perturbations in the dispersal of substances. Across the solar system could alter paths taken by celestial bodies that pose future collision risks to Earth. Extraterrestrial mechanisms for harnessing solar power encircling the Sun might reshape the flow of solar emissions, thereby altering climatic conditions on our planet. Extraterrestrial transit networks could unleash unfamiliar types of rays or disruptions in electromagnetic fields, disrupting technologies reliant on terrestrial infrastructure. These ramifications for the cosmic surroundings gain greater weight when pondering the chance that extraterrestrial societies have operated within our solar system over prolonged durations. Such societies could have erected facilities beyond our current ability to detect. Structures resembling geological or atmospheric oddities, yet functioning as engineered constructs fulfilling extraterrestrial objectives. Examples of these could encompass robotic extractors concealed within asteroid forms, power-gathering arrays posing as ionized gas events, or signal transmission hubs mimicking inherent cosmic broadcasts. This probe could represent a fragment of a broader extraterrestrial footprint in our solar system, overlooked solely because of our narrow grasp on the forms extraterrestrial engineering might assume. Uncovering vast extraterrestrial frameworks throughout our solar system would carry deep consequences for humanity's ambitions in cosmic exploration. We could encounter situations where prime extractable assets stand appropriated by extraterrestrial societies, favored slots in orbits lie preempted, or our ventures into the void-face barriers from extraterrestrial domain assertions we fail to comprehend. On the other hand, we might uncover evidence that extraterrestrial societies have methodically overseen solar system assets to safeguard pathways for nascent life forms such as our own. These societies could adhere to guidelines that set aside specific assets and orbital niches for evolving societies, guaranteeing that fledgling ones gain avenues for cosmic outreach upon attaining requisite advancements in engineering. This framework of ecological oversight implies a degree of interstellar duty and anticipation that bodes well for humanity's enduring future. It signals that sophisticated societies honor their duties to foster and safeguard nascent ones, even if that demands curbing their personal consumption of assets and outward growth. This interstellar ecological guardianship could embody a primary trait separating thriving, enduring societies from those that self-annihilate via unchecked proliferation. The probe could be compiling details to evaluate if humanity cultivates the ecological awareness and oversight skills, rendering us viable for integration into interstellar ecological safeguard networks. Our present ecological hurdles and our reactions to them could act as an examination of human insight and extended foresight. Societies unable to master harmonious existence within the ecological boundaries of their origin world might rank as hazardous prospects for venturing into interstellar realms where their ruinous habits could inflict far broader havoc. Through this lens, the 3D Atlas scenario links directly to humanity's persistent battle to forge enduring bonds with Earth's ecology. Our triumphs in tackling climatic shifts, upholding biological variety, and overseeing asset deployment could dictate not just our persistence as a world-bound society, but our welcome into any interstellar assembly that persists. The probe could be tailored expressly to track our ecological oversight proficiencies, gauging if we master the equilibrium between engineering progress and ecological safeguarding. The scouting operation could be acquiring intelligence on our power infrastructures, our refuse handling. We scrutinize our planetary stewardship practices, preservation initiatives, and total ecological impact to assess if humanity qualifies as a reliable steward for interstellar assets and habitats. In this cosmic environmental audit, each step we make in safeguarding our world gains universal weight. Choices concerning sustainable power sources, greenhouse gas outputs, biodiversity safeguarding, and habitat defense would come under the watchful gaze of entities whose intellects dwarf ours. The planetary stewardship scorecard could shape our impending ties with extraterrestrial societies. The ecological facets of the 3i Atlas scenario therefore intensify the press on our current ecological dilemmas, yet they also kindle optimism that remedies could emerge should we exhibit adequate insight and dedication to planetary guardianship. The probe's nature, as peril or prospect, could hinge substantially on our prudent handling of our bond with the terrestrial biosphere. As we softly conclude this stellar musing this evening, we halt to ponder the extraordinary odyssey we've shared, delving into the prospects encircling 3i Atlas and the implications of its arrival for our modest azure orb, twirling silently amid the cosmic expanse. We've delved into visions ranging from strictly empirical to profoundly contemplative, from alarmingly proximate to sublimely expansive. We've pondered the chance that this enigmatic intruder signals scouting from remote societies, relics from vanished intellects, synthetic entities unbound by organic limits, evolved awareness traversing the stars as interstellar wanderers, or shards of immense networked cognition spanning whole stellar clusters. Across these visions, we've witnessed how validating extraterrestrial awareness would cascade across all facets of mortal existence, reshaping our empirical pursuits, inventive tools, communal frameworks, existential insights, and core notions of human essence within a cosmos stretching infinitely past our humble orb. Contemplate the seismic realignment in outlook that mere whispers of extraterrestrial encounters infuse into our routine existences. The serene transit of 3i Atlas across our stellar domain reminds us that we stand not as solitary dwellers of one globe, but as prospective members of a galactic fellowship, potentially embracing the whole Milky Way. Regardless of whether this specific entity emerges as innate or engineered, it embodies the timeless mortal yearning that solitude evades us in the starlit voids. This narrative compels us to grapple with core inquiries into cognition, awareness, and life's essence. We've probed how extraterrestrial cognition could operate in manners utterly alien to mortal thought, molded by adaptive forces and surroundings without earthly parallels. We've weighed how such variances could foster unparalleled alliances alongside perils of dire miscommunication. We've analyzed the organic ramifications of encounters between lineages, divided by eons of adaptive divergence. Spanning acute hazards of pollution to enduring vistas of guided adaptation and vital uplift, we've envisioned biosphere visions from covert planetary reshaping to interstellar biosphere oversight, each harboring deep consequences for terrestrial vitality's trajectory. Across this inquiry, we've observed how the 3i Atlas narrative acts as a reflector of our species' maturation and preparedness for stellar duties that await. Our approach to the prospect of extraterrestrial minds serves as a profound evaluation of humanity's insight, collaboration, and foresight across eras. How we manage this enigma from the stars could shape not merely our discoveries regarding otherworldly cognition, but also the perceptions those minds form of us. The subtle enigma surrounding this traveler from beyond our system urges us to recognize that the cosmos exceeds in oddity and splendor what the majority of people ever venture to envision. Existence unfolds in a vast expanse where particles and forces assemble into forms that achieve awareness, where data flows over immense expanses and durations, where awareness arises from the interplay of basic material dynamics persisting across eons. If 3 Atlas marks our initial encounter with extraterrestrial artifacts, or merely yet another drifting fragment from the voids amid stellar realms, it has nonetheless broadened our perspectives on universal potentials. It prompts reflection not only on the nature of extraterrestrial minds, but on the potential evolution of our own intellect with ample duration and sagacity. The explorations shared this evening underscore both the awe-inspiring opportunities and the weighty duties tied to our shift from a world-bound viewpoint to one embracing the galaxy. We find ourselves at a singular juncture in the annals of the stars. Perhaps the pioneering cohort of people poised to connect with minds originating outside our solar domain, and undoubtedly part of the final wave to recall the sensation of assuming solitude amid the cosmos. Such a shift imposes duties toward ensuing human lineages and possibly toward extraterrestrial societies still unknown to us. The choices we make in this pivotal phase could steer the evolution of awareness and sentience within this galactic sector for countless millennia ahead. We craft the opening segments of an expansive stellar tale involving alliance, comprehension, and shared advancement among varied manifestations of mind. The 3i Atlas situation emphasizes that this stellar narrative demands more than mere inquisitiveness in science and prowess in tools. It calls for discernment, empathy, and the boldness to embrace prospects that upend our deepest convictions about existence. Regardless of whether we confront natural occurrences or extraterrestrial cognition, our strongest path to comprehension and fitting reaction rests in meticulous scrutiny, thorough examination, and receptive exploration of every option. While this enigmatic voyager persists in traversing our solar realm, bearing its concealed truths, it evokes the awareness that we belong to an entity far grander than our individual selves. We engage as elements in a stellar developmental sequence that has progressed over billions of years, a sequence potentially directed by varieties of mind we are just starting to conceive. The serene transit of 3. Why Atlas across our stellar vicinity acts as an exquisite cue that the cosmos retains innumerable marvels for those daring enough to gaze skyward. If this specific sojourner turns out to be a herald from remote realms, a trace of bygone societies, or just one more drifter from the interstices among stars, it embodies the timeless aspiration of humankind that awareness and cognition signify not mere flukes in an uncaring void, but core attributes of a universe mysteriously attuned to foster intellects able to ponder their very being. In the serene instance of this evening, as you ease into repose beneath the identical constellations that have inspired human fancy through endless ages, bear in mind that you inhabit one of the most extraordinary epochs in the full chronicle of earthly awareness. You rank among the initial humans to earnestly weigh the scholarly likelihood of extraterrestrial cognition. We could be on the cusp of an interstellar guest entering our cosmic neighborhood, and being among those who first witness how humanity reacts might illuminate profound truths about ourselves as sentient entities adrift in an endless cosmos. Rest easy this evening, assured that amid the enveloping night sky overhead, 3i Atlas persists in its timeless voyage, bearing enigmas that could one day reshape our grasp of existence, consciousness, and the awe we hold for a reality infinitely more wondrous and enigmatic than our current visions allow. My gratitude goes out to you for accompanying me on this voyage through stellar reverie and potential. Should these musings ignite your interest in the vast expanse and humanity's role therein, kindly give this a thumbs up and follow our channel for additional serene voyages into the enigmas of astronomy and the heavens. Such encouragement enables us to keep producing material that renders intricate concepts engaging and approachable for all who cherish the marvels of the universe. I must also note that although we've delved into numerous hypothetical paths this evening, the genuine probe into 3i Atlas remains active, with dedicated researchers globally employing cutting-edge instruments and methods from contemporary stargazing to unravel this extraordinary entity. The line dividing imaginative tales from viable science steadily evolves as our insights grow. Yet, it's crucial to separate thoughtful conjecture from verified reality. Feel free to post your reflections on this evening's delve in the section below. Let us know your location, the hour in your part of our modest planet, and which stellar hypothesis captivated or disturbed you the most. Your insights and inquiries guide our upcoming quests and underscore that scientific pursuit thrives on shared efforts, enriched by varied angles and inquisitive spirits. Fare thee well until our next encounter beneath the soft glow of remote celestial bodies. May your slumber brim with stellar enchantment and tranquil repose. Sweet dreams, companions, in this grand cosmos we inhabit together.